We've got two of our chase drivers have joined us now at the podium. Our defending champion is Tony Stewart. He drives the number 14 Office Depot Mobile One Chevrolet, and he'll come into the 2012 chase seated third. Congratulations, Tony. And Jeff Gordon, driver the number 24 Drive-In Hunger Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports, races his way into the chase. Congratulations, Jeff. And let's hear from you, Tony. Third seed, you got 3 wins on the year. You're defending your championship. Your thoughts now as you head to Chicagoland?
I mean, definitely, after last year, I mean, you realize next week's kind of the start of the second part of the season for us. So excited to get that going. And, had a strong night tonight. Just didn't have enough to finish it off at the end. But it was, it was a heck of a race. And it was really fun watching Jeff and Mark there at the end. It would have been nice to be up in the middle of it with them. But it was, what a race to watch at the end.
Thank you, Tony. And Jeff Gordon, congratulations. Getting into this chase. Your thoughts now that you will be competing for a championship?
We went from last week to being the most disappointed I've ever been to finish second to the most excited I've ever been to finish second tonight. Wow, what a race for us. We just flat out missed the setup at the beginning. Luckily, Alan and the engineers got together and found the tools that we could utilize to make the car better. The biggest thing was that rear bar. We just had to get rid of it. So we did that. Cut the chain, and our car really started coming to us right then. We finally got some drive off, and just you can look at this race and all the things that have gone wrong for us this year. Everything went right for us tonight. We had some guys stay out there on tires on that, basically that last caution that really cost them good finishing positions. We came in and got tires at that time. We were able to drive up through there, had a good race car, and then Alan called a great timing for that last pit stop because Tony was ahead of us, and we short pitted it, and it worked out, getting us ahead of Tony and able to run Mark down there at the end. So it was amazing. I still can't believe that we actually did it. I know how proud Rick is to get all 4 teams into this chase. That was a big goal of ours. So it's pretty amazing to know that we had accomplished that.
Okay, we'll take a couple questions here. If you raise your hand, we'll get to you. We'll go, Kim, please limit yourself to 1 question apiece. Go ahead.
Kim Robertson, Insider Racing News. Tony, you kind of set the standard for the new way to get through the chase last year, where you kind of ran the table, and even you were surprised that you got in, and then you ended up with the championship. Now it seems like anybody can come in from behind and win. What do you think your chances are to defend this year, and who do you think your biggest challengers are?
Well, I think you kind of answered your own question a little bit to a certain degree. I mean, everybody is a factor, obviously. I mean, I obviously couldn't predict it last year. I wasn't good enough to predict it then, so I'm not sure I'm going to be any better at predicting it now. So, but it just showed that the 12 guys, all 12 of them, are capable of doing it now. You look at the run that Jeff had tonight and raced his way in. I mean, that's the kind of a drive that you have to win a championship. So, all 12 guys have a shot, and a good shot, I think.
Okay, let's go Al Pierce, David Newton, Holly Kane. Right here, we need the mic, sir.
Yeah, Jeff, Al Pierce from Auto Week. Did you have anybody on your team calculating right down to the position where you needed to be? Did you have any idea exactly where you were in relation to Kyle most of the night?
I'm sure there was. We discussed prior to the race that we weren't going to talk about it till that final run, and even in that final run, they just kept saying, "Go get that next one. Go get that next one. All right, go get that next one." And we were going through a bunch of cars there because there were guys on old tires and different sequences, and we were passing cars and. I didn't know what position we were in. I didn't know what was going on. I knew that it looked like some guys were staying out because of how slow they were running. And then, Alan got pretty animated when he said, "You got to get the 55. You have to get the 55." And there was 10 to go. And I kind of had an idea that would get us in. But he didn't ever say it. So, but I'm assuming yes, they were calculating it some way somehow.
But you didn't know until the very end.
He didn't even say it. It's just when he said you got to have the 55.
All right, we're going to take two more questions. David and then Holly.
Yeah, Jeff David Newton, ESPN.com. You seem to be smiling and actually at ease during that long rain delay. Were you fairly confident that this could happen at all, or what were your thoughts of that? And let me ask you, too, was at the end,
You never asked one question.
I know, with Allen at the end, I just wanted to clarify, was that Allen?
Question.
Was that Allen at the end that said that we're going to kick their last 10 races, or you?
So you weren't standing at the car when I got out of the car, obviously, because I was not very smiling and happy when at that rain, that one red flag. I was pretty ticked off that we got that far behind, and I didn't see. I'll be honest, I don't know about Tony, but for me as a race car driver, when you've had that kind of start to the race, you don't have a lot of hope that you're going to get it turned around. But you know what? I went to Allen, and he never wavered. He was confident. They were looking at the data from what setup we had in to our teammates, even Tony, and we had just done the rear bar, and they were pretty confident that was going to get us close to our teammates, and he was right. I still had a little doubt in him, though. No, after that, I felt like I won the race tonight. I mean, when that was over and they told me that I was in the chase and we made it, I mean, I was ecstatic. I was going nuts. And to me, after you have that kind of effort and fall back and then come up there and finish second, almost win the race and make it in by 1 point, man, I don't see any reason why we can't go over these next 10 races if we put that kind of effort out we put tonight and be a real threat for the championship.
Final question, Holly. Let's get her the mic, please.
Holly Kane, NASCAR.com. This question's for Tony. It's a compound question, not two questions, but just one with two parts. Having just said how wide open the championship is, can you speak to how big it was that you were able to have the race you did tonight and get the 10th place so that you do have the bonus points? That could turn out to be very big at the end.
Yeah, especially, knowing that it came down to 1 point, at the end of the year last year. I mean, those 9 points are huge right now. So, it's proof that you can't, 9 points doesn't sound like a lot, 3 points doesn't sound like a lot, but when it came down to that last night, I mean, 1 point was the biggest number you've ever seen in your life. So, these 9 points are something that it was a big deal for us tonight to make sure we stayed in the top 10 to make sure that we got those bonus points and didn't lose them.